Hey everyone, wanted to take some time to show you guys a quick little video on the whatnot shipping after you do a show. Everybody's been talking about how hard shipping is, and I decided to jump in and do my first couple shows, and I did two shows. I sold some things, and what everybody needs to remember after you do your show is you need to weigh your things correctly before your show and after your show. One of the things that people are doing is estimating and guessing weights. You should not do that. You should get a scale. You should weigh your things and make sure you sell them in categories. Whether you're telling your customers what the weight is or what the shipping is going to be, it's important. The reason I'm saying that is because if you are going to sell something that weighs a pound, 5 pounds or more, you need to know how you're going to ship that and how it's going to affect the 12 by 12 by 12 dimension, which is the 36 inches, which is a cubic foot that Whatnot uses USPS. And they are serious about the inch that you go over that, it'll cost you. The weight is not so important because if you do USPS priority or ground advantage, it goes 1 to 5 pounds if you pick the US priority, and it goes also down to USPS ground advantage if it's below a pound. So anything that's over 5 pounds goes ground advantage, and anything that's under a pound. But if you do 1 pound to 5 pounds and you pick priority, you can have that, or you can pick flat rate boxes if that's what you want to do. But I would be careful with how you do it. But the point of the thing is here is when you get to the shipping screen on your dashboard on Whatnot on your computer, you're going to see a little truck icon to the left, like you see here, and with a red arrow here to the left. And you're going to see various buttons that says, one here that says need label, the other one says generate label, and the other one says, well, it doesn't say anything. It has a little pencil where you edit. You're going to want to pay attention to the edit button because you're going to click it here. You're going to edit your weights and your dimensions and get them correct in there. So if you have a box and you sending something that is between 1 and 5 pounds priority, and you ended up saying this is going to weigh, a pound or whatever, and you underweight it, it's going to charge you here if you underweight it, and this is going to fall into your 5 allotted adjustments that Whatnot gives you. That right there helps out a lot because it gives you some leeway. But if you get it wrong all the time, you're going to use those allotments really quick. So try to weigh everything, because if you weigh everything, for example, this package here ended up weighing 3.9 ounces, pounds and 9 ounces instead of the 5 pounds that I thought it was going to weigh. I had marked it at 5 pounds. I adjusted the shipment size and weight, and everything got put in the correct category after I edited the label. When you do the Whatnot screens, the shipment is going to expand like here, and you have all these other options here, but choose the shipping option here so you can go and edit your label. Once you edit your label, a box is going to pop up over to the right where it defaults to 12 by 12 by 12 in the weight category that you picked for it. Again, package it, make sure you take the dimensions, weigh it correctly, and if you weigh under, it's going to be good. If you weigh over, think of it as going to charge you. So remember, those 5 allotments may be used during your first show if you don't weigh things properly or edit them properly. The biggest thing I got to tell you is make sure you hit the shipments, and you also come here to where it says generate label. Before you generate the label, edit everything with this little pencil marker here. Like I said, that's going to be your friend when you edit everything. Everybody asks what happens after the show. This is what I'm trying to tell you, what happens after the show. You have to come into your dashboard on the computer. It's different than on your phone because it has other ways that you can edit things in here. Once you edit everything in here and you are sure and you are in the area where it shows you that you do not have to have any adjustments that are costing you money, then you would generate your label. If you want to generate the label with some of the fees that are being charged to you, remember those fees are being charged because you didn't weigh the package correctly, you didn't take the dimensions correctly, and you guesstimated. This is not a where you want to estimate. You want to get it right every time. And I suggest you get a scale. I suggest you get a ruler, and you make sure that you weigh everything for your shows prior to listing things and going live. I think it's easier to preload your shows with some of the stuff and some of the weight categories you're going to be using, because when you're running items live, it'll be easier for you once people buy them, and once they show up here after the show, you can come and edit them properly. If you have any questions, any comments, please drop them below. I always appreciate people asking questions. I'd be loving to help anyone understand this a little bit better, as I've been traversing through all this by myself, trial and error, and making sure I don't pay money out of pocket by doing things, guessing. Again, it's like eBay. eBay also punishes you for guesstimating weights and not getting them right. If you don't pay the correct amount, the post office usually will square up with eBay. They'll send you a notification, hey, you underpaid stuff, we're charging you for it. Or hey, you overpaid stuff, we're refunding you for it. I've done that in the beginning just to make sure I got it right. I did obviously overmeasure and overcompensate, but I ended up getting that money back because, you know, they do things like that. Also, if you underpay or under measure, they're going to want to get paid, and they'll send you a notification saying, hey, you didn't weigh the things correctly, didn't measure them correctly. The post office called it out, and they're going to charge you. So, again, keep this in mind. The show is easy to do. The shipping should be easy to do as well if you remember that you got to edit your labels before you generate your labels. That's always going to be a helper for you, and it's always going to help you do the Whatnot shows a little bit better if you take the time to edit the labels. Again, if you have questions, comments, drop them below. Give me a like or follow. I appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.